The iPhone 15 and 15 Pro are coming out in just a few days, but there's one phone that they can't compete with, and it's this one right here, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5, which ironically has been out for about a month, about the same day that the iPhone 15 gets here. It's crazy to me that it's been out for a month, but it's also interesting to me because we take a look at the iPhone 15 and we're like, oh, it's going to get USB-C. It's just crazy to me that we're talking about $1,000 plus phone that might be getting a price increase, that the most exciting new feature is USB-C. But then we have this guy over here. You've got the S Pen, you get the big gigantic internal folding screen that's basically a tablet on the go, but then you've got the regular size screen on the outside that you can use. I mean, mostly regular size. And it's tall, but it is a little on the narrow side. But there's so much functionality that you get here. And it's already got, of course, it's got a great telephoto camera. It's got the ultra wide camera. It's got the 50 megapixel regular camera. It competes in a lot of ways with what you get with the iPhone. Of course, you get 5 years of support, 4 years of operating system updates, 5 years security patches, but it's not the same old whenever you talk about looking at a regular slab phone like the iPhone. And then you also get the cool features of the portable tablet on the go, the S Pen, which, like, I love having an S Pen. And the great thing about this phone versus, like, let's say the Google Pixel Fold right here is you get the S Pen, which, again, S Pen, this really makes the experience. It takes it to the next level. I think that every foldable phone should have an S Pen. It should have a stylus. And of course, the stylus support is great. I mean, this is something that we had with the Note for so many years. Now we have it with the Ultra on the S series. And that's just a lot of stuff that you don't get whenever it comes to the iPhone. Heck, the iPhone, we're like, what, 16, 17 years into this experience, and you still can't move your apps where you want on the screen, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I'm not crazy about in the iPhone world, but it's completely unarguable. You can't argue it. The iPhone can't compete with this. And of course, this gets fantastic battery life. My iPhone 15 Pro Max has not gotten good battery life. It doesn't overheat, but it gets really hot when you do basic stuff. Just recording a video for like 5 minutes and the thing gets super, super hot. I still have failures with AirDrop almost daily. Like, it just doesn't want to airdrop stuff. It'll start airdropping it and then it says failed. And there's just a lot of issues that I've had with the iPhone over the last year. So I think that Apple kind of took a step back in 2022. We'll see if we can regain some of that in 2023, but I'm just really not excited about the prospect of, we're going to get USB-C, which of course they're talking about even having like a proprietary cable that you have to use. Otherwise you won't get the higher charging speeds. You won't get the higher data speeds. We'll see if that happens. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Apple did that. And of course, if it does have faster charging, we're gonna have a new charging brick, which is funny because, you know, they don't offer the charging brick in their phone boxes anymore. But their whole thing was, oh, it's to save the environment, but really all you were getting was like a 5-watt charger anyway. Like, well, there's like a billion chargers out there. But the thing is none of those billion Apple chargers will give you the charging speeds that you actually need. But rest assured, they created a 20-watt charger that you could buy, and they created MagSafe, a whole nother charging mechanism that you could buy. So no, it's not about the environment. It's just finding a way to make more money. And now they'll sell you an even higher powered charger, and I'm sure they'll sell you a exclusive charging cable that you have to use to take full advantage of it, even though USB-C has basically been the standard for like a decade. So yeah, I don't really think Apple innovates all that much anymore. I mean, I know they've got the new Apple headset thing with the Apple Vision Pro or whatever they're talking about that's going to come out in January. But when you take a look at the phones, the only thing I'm really excited about when it comes to this phone, well, hopefully a higher charging speed. But we're talking, of course, they'll have the new chip, they'll have the new Bionic chip, and then I don't think we're getting a new camera. But of course, the other thing we might get that's slightly inventive is possibly a titanium frame, at least on the Pro model, which would be great because it would shave down on some of the weight. That would be nice. And I mean, titanium is cool. I mean, it's cool. It would be cool to walk around and say you got a titanium phone. But I think it's more cool to walk around and say, I've got a foldable phone that you can do this with on the go and have this big gigantic phone. Look, I love being able to use the Fold. I love foldable phones now. They're fantastic. I carry it around all the time. Love the S Pen. Love this for media. I make all my thumbnails on it. There's just so many different things that you can do. And of course, Samsung just keeps making it better and better. Now, I know a lot of folks would like it to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more thinner, have the S Pen on the inside. I'd love to be able to use the S Pen on the front of the phone. It's not a perfect phone. There are a lot of things I think Samsung could do to continue to make this better, but here we are 5 generations in, and Apple still hasn't even tried to make a folding phone or a flipping phone or any of that stuff. So I think in the Samsung world, in the Android world, you still kind of have this exclusivity on the idea of being able to carry around a foldable phone, much less one that has an S Pen, and One UI is fantastic. Multitasking is great on here. The iPhone, not so good at multitasking. This phone, there's a whole lot of cool multitasking stuff that you can do. So I think even though when you take a look at this, a lot of folks, of course, are going to go buy the iPhone 15. When you take a look at the iPhone 15, I'm sure it's going to be the best-selling phone over the next year. Apple has the #1 sales in the United States, but Samsung, of course, has the lock on foldables here. Even though we have the OnePlus Open that's coming out soon, we have the Google Pixel Fold here. Yeah, Samsung is still king in that department. I think that they still will be for a presumable time to come. And I still don't think we're going to see anything like this from Apple probably until the next few years. Like, it's nothing that's been leaked. It's nothing that's been rumored. It's not on their roadmap for devices. They would still rather sell you just the regular plain old iPhone. And here's the other thing. I fully expect the regular iPhone 15 to have last year's chip, just like they did with the iPhone 14 this year. The iPhone 14 had last year's iPhone 13 Pro chip. So it really essentially is just the same phone they're recharging you more money for, but of course it doesn't have that third camera. It doesn't have the ProMotion display. Really, it's just a watered down version of the Pro phone, but they're giving you last year's chip. They're not even giving you this year's chip. So I fully expect to see that again because, of course, nobody really raises a big red flag about that, about them giving you last year's phone and selling it to you for this year's prices. So yeah, Apple, I really think, is missing a lot in the innovation department. And I think there are ways that they still can't compete whenever it comes to a lot of stuff that Android has to offer, especially Samsung. But when you take a look at the Z Fold 5, I would take the Z Fold 5 any day of the week over the iPhone. And I would make that decision any day of the week. And the other thing is they're saying that we're going to get a $100 to $200 price increase on the iPhone 15 Pro, Pro Max series phones. That would put it much more expensive. That would make it more expensive than the S23 Ultra, which is still a fantastic phone. And of course, it has a 200 megapixel camera. They basically invented in the US the telescopic telephoto zooming camera. You've got, of course, the space zoom, 100 times zoom, all that crazy stuff, S Pen. And yeah, I would take the S23 Ultra, and it's still a fantastic phone. So I think that iPhone is still missing out on a lot of these innovation features, and it's still something that when you look at it, I think a lot of people, of course, they say it's boring. It's the same thing. And I really don't see a lot of innovation there when it comes to the idea of, we're going to get USB-C. So we'll see what happens when the phone gets here. It's going to be launched on September the 12th, which is just a couple days from now. So we'll see what happens at the event, all that crazy stuff, but it still won't compete with this. So if you're thinking about getting a $1,200, $1,300 iPhone, iPhone 15 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, it shortens the gulf between the $1,799 phone. Of course, you get $1,000 trading credit still that they're offering for this phone. So you can get up to $1,000 trading credit, and you can still get the free 512 storage upgrade for the price of the $256, which, if you want to get that in Apple, good luck. They'll charge you like an extra $200 for that too. So you could be looking at like a $1,500 iPhone that does the same thing as last year versus what you could get for a couple $100 more in the in the Z Fold 5. So that's all I got in this video. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think that Apple should enter the foldable game? Do you think that they're lacking in that department, or that are you really impressed with the idea of USB-C as being the innovative factor for a new $1,000, $1,200, $1,300 phone? Because I'm not really all that impressed with it. So that's all I've got. Any questions or comments, of course, please go to the comments section. I'll do my best to get back with you. I'm sorry, my voice is kind of messed up. I've been under the weather the last few days, which is also late getting my video done. I didn't get one done yesterday, but hopefully start feeling better here in the next few days. Hopefully my voice and everything will get back to normal. It's one of these, I guess, late in summer cold things or something. I don't know. But as always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.